Right, I'm back. Video number 2. So, picking up where we left off, we've just started going through the client needs. We've looked at house style, also known sometimes as image. For those of you who are using the brief and going off the brief, just to add that in there for you guys. We need to look at the level of security for the website. If you are doing a website where people can buy items from your website, whether they are virtual items or they get shipped to them, they're going to look for security. They're going to be looking for that HTTPS that we've looked at before. They're going to be possibly looking for encryption. They might look for something like captcha, although there are better things out there than the actual captcha itself. There are things out there that people can read. There are captcha methods that people use where you drag stuff into a box, or you have to match shapes. There are some quite good ones out there if you look them up. So, but we will be looking for HTTPS, might be looking for captcha, we'll be looking for a privacy policy, or rather, well, the client will be looking to have a privacy policy. Captcha doesn't be on the end in this case, I don't think. Yeah, I can't remember how to spell that, never mind. And they will also be looking for their site to be encrypted in there. So the client is looking to secure his website. They want to know what you will do to secure their documents, their databases, anything they have on the site. So that is one thing that we will need. The other bit that they will want to know in terms of their needs is how long it will take you to build the website. A timescale for the development. If they want a simple site, it might be developed in a week. If they want something more complicated, you are probably looking at something a bit longer than that. It will always be a rough estimate that you give. And when you give a rough estimate, always more time than you think you're going to need. If you think you can build a website in a week, tell them it will take a week and a half. That way, if anything goes wrong, you've got that extra half a week. Or if you tell them 2 weeks for something that you think will take a week to build, then you've got an extra week. But be careful of not going too far in advance. So if you go too far in advance and you finish so much quicker, they're going to be thinking that you haven't given it all of the care and attention that you should be. So you need to strike a balance between giving yourself extra time to allow for things going wrong and giving yourself too much extra time so that they think that you haven't actually done as good a job as you said you would do. Okay? So be a bit wary of that. But the more you do it, the more you do websites and build websites, the easier it will get for you to know how long it's going to take you to build a site based on what the client needs. That's pretty much mostly what we need from the client. There are other bits that will come in as we go through, but mostly that is what we need specifically for a website. Anything else we've already got from units 30 and 31. That's our clients, our users. Now, as with any user needs, the best way to work out what a user wants from a website is to think of what you would want if you were using that website. So, based on that, you're going to be thinking about things like how the information is laid out as one option. You're going to be looking at the navigation of the website. How easy is it to move around? Can you find everything using the navigation? Let's just get this bit, because I've actually run out of space. Oops. Really? How many times? You're going to be looking for something that's not a wall of text. If you put a wall of text on a website, users, unless they are really, really desperate to find something, usually I'm going to go through it. Something very simple in the layout. Something with images, maybe, possibly video, possibly audio, or any other media. So anything that you can add in to make the web page more interesting and capture the user's attention. You're going to want to make key points of your website easy to find. So key information, for example, would go at the top of the page rather than halfway down or at the bottom. Users don't like scrolling. So you want little vertical scroll, and you want no horizontal scroll. So if you think about using Moodle and you've got it on, say, half of your screen, and you have to scroll sideways to see everything and to get to all the elements, you guys probably get really knocked off with having to do that. I tend not to put stuff at half screen because the constant scrolling sideways really does my head in. Don't put your website so that it scrolls horizontally. It's not good. Users don't like it, they won't stick around. There is a trend recently for websites where all of the information is on one page and it just scrolls down the page. You click a link and it takes you further down the page. Generally speaking, that is not a good idea for a website. They say you should make a website so that people don't use the back arrow on the browser, but we all use the back arrow on the browser. And this idea that we shouldn't use it on these long scrolling websites is kind of, that's a bit ridiculous. If you end up with a long scrolling website, you should always provide a link to take you back to the top. But most people will prefer separate pages. They will also prefer, on each page, that the layout is consistent. If you have a layout where the colours change on every page, the navigation moves around, the header's different, you've got different bits in your footer, you've got different bits on the sidebar, people are going to wonder if they're actually still on the same website. They don't like websites that are inconsistent. They like to know where things are. And generally speaking, it doesn't matter what website you go on, they all have a very similar layout. The navigation will be somewhere at the top, either above or below a header. Most of the information in a sidebar will be on the left. Logins maybe at the top right of the screen or on the left-hand side. Search bars on the website, always on the top left. Very rare they go anywhere else. Main content is always either central or central and right of the page. Colours tend to stay consistent, so you haven't got a page that's blue, you haven't got a page that's orange. They like consistent layouts. So make sure when you do your website that the layout is consistent. So what I would like you to do for today, pick a topic that is interesting to you and lay out or write down the client and user needs for that website and work on that.